Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next episode of Game of Thrones, Season 4, Episode 6. There was a lot that happened last episode. I thought it was a great episode. I really enjoyed it. A lot of the storylines were progressing. We got to see Jon Snow and Bran and everybody. And I don't know what's going to happen. Hopefully nobody else dies this season. I mean, we've already had King Joffrey die this season, so I don't know. I mean, we'll just kind of have to see what happens. But, I'm looking forward to it. I've been enjoying the series so far. I know we've had our ups and downs and differences in opinions, but overall, I do agree with you that it's a great series and very well done. Also, there's a lot of detail to unpack as well. Thankfully, brought up in the comments, though, when I said that the Sansa's aunt, I didn't know if we knew about her husband dying. We learned about that in Season 1, Episode 1. So there's just a lot that goes on and a lot that links to each other. Sometimes it's hard to keep up, but, I do my best, and I have been enjoying it, which is the main thing. I just want to, make sure I'm enjoying the series. So, without further ado, let's jump right into it. Game of Thrones. Here we go.
I'm afraid we must respectfully decline your request. But we thank you for paying us the honor of your visit.
There's only one reliable leader left in Westeros. Stannis. He's got the birthright. He's in his prime. He's a tried and tested battle commander, and he doesn't just talk about paying people back, he does it.
He's an artist, this one, truly.
No time, I'm afraid. We sail at sunrise.
We.
You, me, we.
Once I thought this man loved me. Now I know he despises me. He wants to see me die, poor and alone on some wall.
You won't be alone, and you won't be poor. There's a chest of the good stuff left back at your house. I gave it to your wife.
You're not my friend, my friend.
I'll see you at sunrise.
You're not my friend, my friend. That's funny. I'm glad this guy's back. He's a good actor. I like him. Cool beans. It's interesting, the whole Stannis Baratheon. I mean, it sounds like they got their money after all, which I didn't think they were going to, because they didn't have any gold or any money. I mean, that's not gold, doesn't look like, but yeah, I mean, that's awesome. That's awesome. So things are heating up. I don't really like Stannis Baratheon, but I do like his help, the people that are alongside of him, minus the lady in red. And his daughter's nice too. I like his daughter.
We're going home. It's all right. It's me, Yara.
You can't trick me. Tell him you couldn't trick me.
I'm not tricking you, Theon. I'm saving
Not
you.
Theon. Reek. Here. Reek. My name is Reek.
If they catch us in here, we're trapped.
Help me with him.
No, you can't. You can't.
You're Theon the Greyjoy.
I don't believe it. I know who I am. Reek. Reek. Royal Reek. Good Reek. I've always been Reek.
This is turning into a lovely evening.
Wow. Yeah, that guy's broken. Theon Greyjoy. He's more than broken. Wow. Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen, but that didn't help. I mean, I don't blame Theon. It's not his fault. He's just broken. He's not right in the head anymore. I mean, I wouldn't be either. That's terrible. It's terrible.
Make for the ship, now.
Your brother!
My brother's dead.
Yeah. That's rough. It's rough for Yara too, you know? Yeah, that's really rough. Man. It's just depressing, you know? Man. I don't know why I want to cry. Like, that's just sad, you know? He's so broken. He's lost. He's not himself anymore. He's Reek. Man. Wow. That's really tough. Feel bad for that, for Yara and him. I mean, his dad, I don't feel bad for. His dad didn't give a crap. Man, that's brutal, guys. This is a dark episode.
How can it?
I need you to play a role. To pretend to be someone you're not.
Pretend to be who?
Theon Greyjoy.
Wow. Wow. There's just man, it's tough. It's tough to watch. He's gone. I mean, though, pretending to be Theon Greyjoy, maybe he'd actually become Theon Greyjoy again. But I think he's too far gone. I don't know. That's rough. It's hard to watch, too. Hard to watch. That dragon's gotten big. Man, that poor goat, though. But, I mean, dragons gotta eat. Dang, they're getting big. Jeez.
Your father crucified innocent children.
My father spoke out against crucifying those children. He decried it as a criminal act, but was overruled. Is it justice to answer one crime with another?
I am sorry you no longer have a father, but my treatment of the Masters was no crime. You'd be wise to remember that.
What's done is done. You are the queen, and I am a servant of Meereen, a servant who does not wish to see its traditions eradicated.
And what traditions do you speak of?
The tradition of funeral rite, proper burial in the Temple of the Graces. My father and 162 noble Meereenese are still nailed to those posts. Thank you, my queen.
Interesting to hear this side of things, you know, especially if his father really was speaking out against it. I mean, obviously, you know, it didn't work. You know, he got voted down and all that, but I mean, if his father really was speaking out against it, it kind of sucks that he's one of the ones that was crucified. But you know, that's why you gotta choose your friends wisely. You know what I mean? Same kind of thing when if you're hanging out with the wrong crowd and one of them gets arrested. You know, if you're with them when they get arrested, you're all getting arrested. You know, stuff like that. So I don't know. But it's interesting to see, you know, to humanize that side of people. You know, he was a father with a family, so It's interesting. I'm not positive how I feel one way or the other, you know? Yeah, it's hard to say.
Interested in girls either.
What then?
Nothing.
Everybody is interested in something.
Not me. When I see what desire does to people, what it's done to this country, I am very glad to have no part in it. Besides, the absence of desire leaves one free to pursue other things.
Such as?
There's some truth to that, though. The absence of desire leads one to pursue other things. So, he does still desire things, just not women and men. It's very interesting. And he said he was that way before he lost his schlong. So that's interesting. I mean, I know there's some people like that out there, but it's just interesting to think about. Oh boy. I was not looking forward to this day. I don't know how the trial is going to go. I really have no recollection, no idea. Yeah, I hope it goes well. Man. Don't kill him off.
You called him a vicious idiot and a fool. It wasn't the first time the imp threatened Joffrey. Right here, in this throne room. He marched up those steps and called our king a half-wit. Compared his grace to the Mad King and suggested he'd meet the same fate. And when I spoke in the king's defense, he threatened to have me killed.
Oh, why don't you tell them what Joffrey was doing? Pointing a loaded crossbow at Sansa Stark while you tore at her clothes and beat her.
Silence! You will not speak unless called upon.
Man, he's right, though. He's right. They're beating Sansa and loaded crossbow. Yeah, he's right. He's well, I don't know. We'll see. I was going to say he's one of the only good Lannisters, but I'm kind of liking Jaime Lannister. If I can ignore, the stuff that shouldn't have happened in the show. I still kind of like him, ignoring that. Like, I don't, I still like just his character. I feel like maybe he might do something to help. I don't know.
The Strangler. Poison few in the Seven Kingdoms possess, and used to strike down the most noble child the gods ever put on this good earth.
All right, well, that right there is a stretch. Most noble child the gods have ever put on this earth. No, he was a nuisance. He was a terrible kid. Oh, man. Jeez, that's a stretch, all right. This is not going well.
But you would not forget. Have you forgotten, Lord Varys?
Sadly, my lord, I never forget a thing.
This is hard to watch. It's hard to watch, guys. This is brutal. It's a brutal episode. It starts very dark with Yara and her brother. Oh, man. And Reek. I mean, I just now this is difficult. And nothing terrible has happened yet. It's just the buildup. It's stressful. I'm stressed. Like, I care about some of these characters, I don't like it. I don't like it. But all that being said, that's what makes this show so great. You don't know the good guy is always going to win. I don't know that. You know, because a lot of shows, like one of the comments, and I took offense to it when it happened like 7 months ago, but just, you know, basically saying I was foolish for my mindset. But that's how we're trained, you know, and I don't mean this negatively to the person that said it. I don't think they even watch my content anymore, and that's fine. But just when I didn't believe that Ned Stark had died, you know, and then it took me to the next episode to came to that realization. You know, they brought up, the comment was something like, well, you know, you with your little mind not understanding. I don't know exactly what it worded, and I'm okay with it now, but it's not my fault. And the reason I say that is because every movie, every TV show, obviously not everyone because of Game of Thrones, but a lot of them, the good guy wins in the end. You know, you could take any Superman movie, well, not Superman, but superhero movie, probably Superman too. And, you know, oh, it's a battle, it's, you know, they're fighting it off, but the good guy comes out on top. The Dark Knight, just to name one. I mean, I could name a bunch. Even like Jaws, you know. Well, I guess Jaws. I mean, yeah, even Jaws. You know, they defeated Jaws at the end of it. You know, like, just you're trained to think that the good is going to happen. You know. And it's not a bad thing. You know, I love Jaws. I love The Dark Knight. Those are all great films. But most of the time, I mean, we want to see the good guys come out on top. You know, we want to see that. But that's something that's different about Game of Thrones. It's not guaranteed, right? It's just not guaranteed. So that makes the show a lot more stressful to watch, but also a lot more real. Because that's the thing in real life, too. The good guys don't always win. Now, with my Christian faith, you know, I believe at the end of time, you know, God's going to return and the good guys come out on top. You know what I mean? But, like, up until that point, like, it's not always the good guys succeeding, you know? So, I don't know. It's just a lot to think about and a lot to take in, but man, this is stressful, really. I'm enjoying it to an extent, but this episode's hard to watch. And I mean, we still got 20 minutes, so I mean, it could get worse. I don't know.
I'll leave the King's Guard. I'll take my place as your son and heir if you let Tyrion live.
Done. When the testament is concluded and the guilty verdict rendered, Tyrion will be given the chance to speak. He'll plead for mercy. I'll allow him to join the Night's Watch. In 3 days' time, he'll depart for Castle Black and live out his days at the wall. You'll remove your white cloak immediately. You will leave King's Landing to assume your rightful place at Casterly Rock. You will marry a suitable woman and father children named Lannister. And you'll never turn your back on your family again.
Wow. I mean, I'd rather him join the Night's Watch than killed. Wow. Wow, good for Jaime. Really going out on a limb here. And Jaime didn't want to. Like, he wanted to stay close to his sister, you know? He's really going out of his way to help his brother. Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. Hopefully this all comes to pass. You know, it sucks for Jaime because that's not what he wants. But that's good. That's good. Man, maybe a little bit of hope in this situation.
You have my word.
And you have mine. Crown may call its next witness.
Oh. Oh, snap. Man, no, because then they're going to kill her. Ah! I did not expect her walking in. Whose side is she on if the Crown's calling the witness? Oh, no. Oh, jeez. I don't know why I don't know if this is good or bad.
This man stands accused of murdering King Joffrey. What do you know of this?
I know that he's guilty. He and Sansa planned together.
What the hell? Really? I guess that's one way to get back at him. Jeez, he tried to save your life. Oh, man.
Mesa's chamber to put in Joffrey's wine.
How could you possibly know all this? Why would he reveal such plans to his wife's maid?
I wasn't just her maid. I was his whore.
I beg your pardon? You said you were his...
His whore.
How did you come to be in his service?
He stole me. I was with another man, a knight in your lordship's army. But when Tyrion arrived at the camp, he sent one of his cutthroats into our tent. He broke the knight's arm and brought me to Lord Tyrion. I did everything he wanted. Whatever he told me to do to him, whatever he felt like doing to me.
Can't trust anyone these days. Can't trust anyone these days. She does seem like to not want to be saying all this. But I mean, she used to say she'd die for him. And now here she is just throwing him under the bus. Putting herself in risk too. Jeez.
I kissed him where he wanted, I licked him where he wanted. I let him put himself where he wanted. I was his property. I would wait in his chambers for hours so he could use me when he was bored. I am a whore. Remember? That was before he married Sansa. After that, all he wanted was her. But she wouldn't let him in her bed. So he promised to kill King Joffrey for her.
And all your worthless lives.
Did he do it? I'm sorry, but Shay, get out of here, Shay. Jeez, did he actually do it? Surely not. Surely not. Now he's just making stuff up. I don't know. He looks pretty serious.
I should have let Stannis kill you all.
Tyrion, you admit you poisoned the king?
No. Of that I'm innocent. I'm guilty of a far more monstrous crime. I'm guilty of being a dwarf.
You're not on trial for being a dwarf.
Oh, yes I am. I've been on trial for that my entire life. Watching your vicious bastard die gave me more relief than 1,000 lying whores.
Oh, man. Oh, man, this poor guy. Poor Tyrion.
I wish I was the monster you think I am. So I will let the gods decide my fate. I demand a trial by combat.
Yeah! Yeah! Oh man, he's playing with fire though. This is his second trial by combat. Oh man. Oh man. Come on, Tyrion. You got this. Oh man. Oh man. Oh jeez. Oh man. Oh jeez. And the worst part is the episode's gonna end. 10 minutes left, and it probably is saying that with the end credits too. Oh man. Ah man. No! 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 No. Jeez. He's right, though. Trial by combat. I mean, it's unlikely he'll succeed, but he is letting the gods decide his fate rather than those three. Wow. All right, well, I'm going to rewatch this episode while I edit it down and let you know my final thoughts. Wow. What an episode. Just there's just a lot to unpack. Let's start kind of towards the beginning. So, if I'm understanding correctly after rewatching the show, I think that Stannis Baratheon did get funds from those people, from the bank, because he didn't have anything really ahead of time, and then all of a sudden his help has all this money. So, I would assume that they did end up giving them money, which, you know, like I said in the episode, like, I don't really like Stannis Baratheon so much, but I like the people with him, you know, so I'm kind of indifferent about that. I think it's going to be definitely an impact on everything going on, you know, now that they have money. I think that changes things to an extent. But with that being said, I don't really care one way or the other. I mean, I do care about Stannis Baratheon's helpers, you know, and the people with him and his daughter and stuff. I don't really care about him. I don't know who I'm supposed to like, you know. I mean, obviously there's the Starks and I like them, but I kind of like Tyrion Lannister and his brother Jaime. I kind of like them as well. There's just so many players at play. And then it's interesting seeing the Targaryen girl. It's interesting seeing her being an actual leader, because she hasn't really had to do that much. I guess she's been doing it for a while now, but it's just interesting to see how she responds to different things. But yeah, I mean, I like the episode overall. Like I mentioned, though, the show can be pretty stressful. It's a roller coaster of emotions. I'm not sure how I feel about the ending. I hope things are going to end up okay for Tyrion, but I don't know. I can't imagine they'll let somebody else fight on his behalf like they did last time. I mean, maybe that's always customary. I don't know. Or maybe it's just because he's a dwarf. But I wish the best for him. I don't want to see him die. I thought maybe going to the Night's Watch was a good choice, but I mean, he had other plans, but part of it was just Shay. I don't know what the hell was up with that. Like, how much money would it take to betray him? Or was she just pissed at him, so she decided to get back on him? Like, she used to say she'd die for the guy. And I realize he insulted her and said she was a whore, and but he was doing it out of love, or I felt like he was doing it out of love, hard love, like I don't know. It's just really rough. The show is so stressful and emotional. The trial was not going well. I definitely feel like the Queen was at play. Like, she was making all the decisions. I don't think that, who is the crown gonna bring? Like, did he get anyone to defend his name? I mean, I don't think so. He asked some people initially, but I don't know. I don't know. I mean, he was right. The trial was not fair. We all knew it wasn't going to be fair going into it. Trial by combat. I mean, I guess he's letting the gods decide his fate. I don't know. That seems like a bad choice too. And then back to Yara and her brother. I can't fathom what he's been through, what he's gone through. I can't fathom that. But then at the same time, he's turned away help, and he's so messed up in the head now. And it's not his fault. Like, I don't blame him at all. It's just a rough situation. It's hard to watch. This show is stressful. Really well done. Some of the scenes, even the ending scene, the shots at the end of people's faces and their reactions, it's all very good. It's all very well done. Yeah, I mean, another good episode. This is a banger of a season, in more ways than one, if you know what I mean, with some of the scenes. But yeah, I mean, it's good. It's a good show. I'm just not sure who to root for. I'm not sure who to like. So, me personally, I like Tyrion a lot. I really like Jaime. The fact that he was willing to throw away his wishes to help out his brother, I thought that was really great of him. I hate the Queen. I hated probably Joffrey more than I hated the Queen, but I don't like the Queen. Their dad, I feel like he's really smart. But he definitely isn't on Tyrion's side. He's definitely against him. He's been against him his whole life. There's just a lot to unpack and unravel, and there's probably some stuff that I'm missing too. I've heard from some folks that you don't always catch up. You don't always get everything the first watch through. This has been an experience and a journey. I mean, and it's not over. We're nowhere close to being over. I mean, I guess we're getting to the halfway point, or just over, because I think there were 8 seasons, but I don't know. We haven't seen Arya in a while. We haven't seen the Hound. We heard about the Hound. I didn't mention that in the video, but they were talking about how the Hound killed 5 of their men, so they put a bounty on the Hound. That could be dangerous for Arya as well as the Hound. We haven't seen Jon Snow. We haven't seen Bran this episode. I guess we got to see quite a bit of them last episode. There's so many storylines to keep up with. The show is beautifully, just shout out to the people that filmed the show. Obviously the actors are great. Everybody knows that, but just the scenes and how they flow and it's just very well done show. It's very well done. It's not something that it's not a TV show that happens all the time, It's very unique. It's cool that they're staying true to the books for the most part. I mean, it sounds like they took a couple liberties, but the books, from what I've heard, I've not read the books, but it sounds like they try to follow that storyline as much as they can. But yeah, I mean, it's great. It's not like I'm not happy about the ending. I'm not mad. I mean, nobody died. So I don't know what to think, really. I'm kind of indifferent, But yeah, I mean, I got to watch the next episode. I can't stop here. Not that I was planning to, but we just got to watch the next one. I did want to mention, I know these episodes have been slightly shorter than some of them. I hope you're okay with that. Yeah, I haven't been cutting out a bunch of stuff. It's not like that. It's just I don't have as many responses or reactions to some of the stuff that happens in the show. I'm still very involved in the show, and I still am trying to grasp everything. But I've tried to stop, responding with like, well, I don't know, or like some of those basic reactions. If I don't have anything to say, I've not really been stopping to record. Hopefully that's okay with you. I just don't want you to think the shorter episodes mean I enjoy the show less, because that's not the case. I'm not just trying to rush through it. I am very much still involved with the characters in the story, and I'm glad we're still reacting to it. These videos, they don't always get as many views as some of my other videos, but that's okay. At the end of the day, the point of the videos, the reason I make YouTube at all, it's not for the massive amounts of views. Those are awesome. It seems like they happen every once in a while. And when I say massive to me, I mean thousands, not hundreds of thousands. You know what I mean? Like, that's massive to me. But hell, the first Game of Thrones video got over 500 views, almost 600 views. That's massive as well. The fact that I think last week 30 or 40 or 50 of you watched it, that alone is enough. It doesn't need to get 1 billion views. As long as there's 1 or 2 people enjoying them and looking forward to them every week or watching them when they can, that's enough. So I'm also making some new RuneScape videos that are coming out. One should have come out yesterday. And then there's going to be kind of an influx of RuneScape videos just for a little bit, just because I'm enjoying a temporary game mode. I say that not to say you have to go watch them or anything. I mentioned that in the Game of Thrones videos because I just want you guys to know, like, I'm not only doing stuff for the views. Like, if I wanted to, I could try to only do stuff for the views and maybe become this great YouTuber. I'd like to still be well known and become a bigger YouTuber, maybe talk about more personal stuff. But the main goal of this channel is that you all that subscribed enjoy the videos, and I want there to be something there for everybody. So that's why there's a little bit of variety. I hope that's okay with you. And I know some of you probably would like if it was just RuneScape or just Game of Thrones or just movie reactions or just video reactions or just music reactions, So I am appreciative that everybody stuck around so long as they do, because I've even done it. So it's no fault of anybody if anybody ever unsubscribes, but I've even done it where they're not posting the kind of content I want, and so I unsubscribe because there's just not what I want to watch on there. So I still want to do this show justice. I mean, nothing I say or do will change the fact that this show is really well done. But I still want to react to them. Anyways, I'll stop rambling. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. I do still enjoy this show. It's hard to watch at times. It's hard to watch. It's an emotional journey, stressful journey. But I got to see what happens. Even if it becomes a train wreck, even if everybody I love is dying, like, I still got to watch it and see how it ends. But yeah, if you did enjoy Game of Thrones and want to see more, consider leaving a like or subscribing if you are new. But I appreciate every single one of you. I really do. Thanks for being here. It's not all about numbers. It's about making connections and becoming friends with you guys and getting to know you. That's what it's about. So I appreciate you being here. I will see you definitely next week. I've got some time off for Thanksgiving week, so I should be able to film Game of Thrones. I might even film one. Oh, hey, happy Thanksgiving. If you're in the States and you celebrate, happy Thanksgiving. Happy Turkey Day, Today is Thanksgiving. I'm not filming it on Thanksgiving. I'm filming this video to be published on Thanksgiving. I am going to be spending some time with my family, but as I was going to mention, I've got some time off work, so I should have plenty of time to get some videos edited. I should be able to dedicate more time to Game of Thrones. Still only plan to do one a week, even if I get a couple recorded ahead of time. But if I do watch further into the show, I mean, I don't have a ton of free time. I'm still working next week, but I have a little bit of extra time off. So if I get farther ahead, that's great. You know, that will just guarantee that we'll get an episode. If I get far enough along, I won't take a break in between seasons. I don't guarantee that. In fact, that probably won't happen. But there is a chance. But regardless, happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate. If you're not in the States, is there anything around November that you guys celebrate? Let me know. I'd be interested to know. My sister lives in Romania, and they have like a Romanian Thanksgiving. I think they did like a Thanksgiving for her, like an American style Thanksgiving, but I think Romania also has like some sort of Thanksgiving celebration. I think Canada might as well. It's different holiday, different name maybe, different reasons, different dates for sure. But let me know. I'd be curious to know. I know we've got viewers from all over, France, Germany, definitely the Philippines, some in the Netherlands. So there's just people all over. So I'm interested to hear more about you and what you're doing this time of year. But yeah, have a good rest of your day. Thanks for watching and take care. Bye.